DC during your lunch hour on a Friday. Thanks for spending your lunch hour with us. This is the Mike Litton Show. I'm your host, Mike Litton, hanging out in studio with two of my favorite people, Jesus Garcia from Keller Williams Realty in Escondido, and also Kathy Majum, the Vice President of Personal Lines with Oren Associates. Thank you again so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here, coming and hanging out with us. I just enjoy spending time with you so much. You can't, but you know that. Anyway, so real quick, I wanted to just real fast talk about something that I want people to be careful about. We were talking about vigilance. We're going to talk about Habitat for Humanity in a second. But one of my agents, I recently, a couple weeks ago, got a call that one of my agents was attacked in one of the homes that she had just closed, literally just closed the day before. And one of the things that I want people to realize is, you know, when you're going into a home that's vacant, when you're going into a home that hasn't been, and they literally, the seller had just moved out 6 p.m. the night before. When you're going into places that are strange places, take somebody with you.
Right.
If you're not sure, look in the windows. Do as many things as you can do to protect yourselves. It's not being paranoid, it's being careful. And being careful is incredibly important, especially nowadays. This guy was standing there when she walked in the door with 2 knives and basically told her that he was going to rape her. She offered him money, she offered him her car, the whole thing, nothing. And basically she started thinking, instead of panicking, she started thinking, and she said, well, if you're going to rape me, you got to take your pants down. He did, which limited his mobility. She dove to a window, broke the window out with her arm, and yelled at the neighbor that was standing in the front lawn and said, you know, call 911, call 911. Then she dove for the front door and was able to get out because he couldn't move as well, right? She was able to get out, and the police came and they found him, and he's in jail. And the wheels of justice, as they say, are turning. Here's the deal: just be careful. Just if you're a realtor and you're female or male, take somebody with you. If you're going into a home by yourself, years ago got into I was in the REO business, the bank-owned property business. And I happened to run into a friend of mine that was a San Diego County deputy sheriff. And I told him, I said, you know, it kind of freaks me out every once in a while when I walk into these houses. He goes, you're walking in with nothing in your hands? I said, yeah. He goes, take a mag light, one of those long mag lights that they have. Yes. He said, those things also double as a club, Mike. Right? He goes, take that thing with you every time. And every time I go into a vacant house, I take that with me and put it in my back pocket. So I've got it in case somebody jumps out. So just be careful. I'm not looking for you to be paranoid. I just want you to be safe. And this is a time of year when you really kind of need to be hyper vigilant. Right. Just be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't be walking around in places that you're not sure of, around people you're not sure of, texting and focusing on your phone and that kind of thing. You know, you mentioned earlier that people are trying to get phones. They see phones in cars and they're trying to get them. People don't realize those phones are $1,000.
Oh, I know.
I mean, they're incredibly expensive, and it's a big ticket item. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Habitat for Humanity for a second. I wanted to basically do a shout out to them because I'm so incredibly proud of them and their efforts on this Escondido project. They were going to scuttle this thing, and I was able to help them, not completely, but I was able to help them partially. I introduced them to people that had the money that they needed to make the thing happen. And one of them in particular we met, at the end of it, he turned to the executive director and said, you know something, you should take him on all your presentations. Because I really love these guys and I love what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody promotes homeownership like they do. You know that.
Yep.
And what they did in Escondido really transformed that community, transformed that area, and it needed it bad. It's a 10 duplex units in a home for a wounded veteran, and it's in Escondido off of North Elm and Washington. And it really is a great deal, and it's had a big impact on the community. If you'd like to donate or support or volunteer with Habitat for Humanity, go to www.sdhfh.org. That's www.sdhfh.org. That group down there is absolutely amazing. I think their phone number is 619-283-HOME, 619-283-HOME. They promote homeownership like no other. Support them. Remember them in your charitable remainder trust. Remember them in your will, please. Take great care of them because they take great care of us in our neighborhoods. And there are a lot of people right now that own homes that couldn't have owned homes without Habitat for Humanity. that's the end of our show, believe it or not.
Wow,
That's the fastest
so
hour we
fast.
live.
Jeez.
Kathy Majum, thank you so much for coming in. Vice President of Personal Lines with Orrin Associates. Call her today, 951-331-7614, 951-331-7614. Jesus Garcia, thanks for coming in as usual and filming and periscoping us and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun. This is the Mike Liddon Show. Make sure you tune in third Friday next month, 12 to 1. We'll see you then. Take care.
Bye.